Hello and welcome to this process. This process is called Tell Your Truths, and the foundation of this practice is to begin your dive deeper into some aspects of your life that you may have felt held captive by. Because throughout our life we are molded, conditioned, and maybe we had some relationships, expectations, religious views that may have had some experiences that left lasting imprints on the course of our lives and our being as a whole. So some of these actually may have helped to, embark on a beautiful life experience and journey, while others might cause a number of pain and suffering throughout the course of our journey. So just as traditions are replicated, they produce and reproduce slightly more building blocks and change over time, and this holds true to how we experience these painful or unpleasant circumstances or experiences in our lives. So with this process today, we're trying to uncover what the mechanism of our mind has absorbed from any of those experiences and identifies as me. I am those negative thoughts, or I deserve that negative treatment. So this practice is designed to unearth and reveal those fabrications of the mind. So these can manifest itself in your life, to give more contextual examples, as feeling unlovable from a failed relationship, or having a person of perceived hierarchy tell you you're not good enough, or you don't make the cut, you're not smart enough for this, or talented. So the process we're going to go through is actually going to look at these fibs and the way we have been programmed to believe them and take them as ourselves, as our personality. Because unless we've done something about these to expose them and identify them, they're still going to be directing how we navigate and conduct ourselves from our day-to-day lives. So for this practice, you'll need a journal or 2 pieces of paper. I like 2 pieces of paper to give some separation and something to write with. If you have something handy, like something big to throw on over top, like a sweater, that can be helpful. If you have anything that's significant to you that caused some suffering or discomfort, some sort of clothing or item that's representative of that situation, you can bring that in as well. So you can pause here for a moment if you need to go and grab those items. So how we will expose these things is we're going to look at a couple of different situations and visualize them. So to begin, I'll have you close your eyes and just tune in to your breathing. Take an inhale through your nose and feel your belly expand, your chest rise, and your shoulders lift. And then exhale through the mouth. Feel that same contraction happening with your shoulders dropping, your chest compressing, and stomach pulling in so the belly button towards the spine. Take 2 more breaths this way, noticing how your body expands and comes back in as you breathe. And before we dive into this, I'd just like to share that you are pure, whole, true self is still within you. You've maybe gone through some experiences that you've got lost or confused, or something that's made you feel this certain way from a program, but we're here to help uncover this and know that this is your truth. This is your true self. So you can open your eyes here and come back in to our process today. And now I want you to think of a direct trauma that you may have experienced. This can be something you personally experienced or something that you witnessed, you were told, or something that had happened within some sort of relationship. Anything that feels such a trauma to your life that you've carried with you. And this can be the classic, you had a parent that had said you were stupid or said something fairly negative that you've carried with you, and it's your baggage, it's your backpack that you've never been able to take off. So we want to bring that experience up. I want you to visualize it. So take a moment and we'll think about this here. You can close your eyes if it feels better to really get into your visualization. I want you to think about what this experience is and how it's meaningful to you. So once we start thinking about that specific experience, it may naturally have started to bring up how you felt about yourself, how you felt about the world and other people, or your situation in that moment. Start to experience and think how you felt. See if you can describe any sensations bodily or thoughts that came across your mind. Because we want to try and bring back this situation to face it head on. So when you're ready, you can bring in your journal or your first piece of paper. Take your writing utensil, and we're just going to write down some of those brainstormed thoughts, feelings, bodily experiences that happened during this painful experience that causes us this grief that we tend to carry around with us still. So we'll take a few moments here, go at your own pace. If you need, you can also pause the video, but we'll take a few minutes here. So with this list of how you experienced and how you felt in this traumatic event or experience that you had, you can address some of these and tie them a little bit more into how you've come to carry those. So if you feel that you were told, we'll bring back the example, if you were told you were stupid and you tend to carry that with you and you don't try for certain things in school, or you didn't continue any education past your post-secondary because you felt maybe limited by this experience you had when you were younger, that you were told you were stupid, that you believed that you wouldn't be able to have the intelligence to continue any further and progress in that way. So see if you can attach this to how it's affected you as you continue throughout your life. See if you can bring up now, with bringing up those thoughts, the application and how it still makes you feel. So we can put our first page or journal aside, and to really feel into this, I want to invite you to take a position that you feel represents how you felt in that moment. So it could be curled up, it could be hugging yourself in tight, feeling small, feeling scared and unsure of what to do. It could be even laying down, curled in the fetal position. Take whatever position feels the most intuitive for you when you reminisce and visualize this experience. This position doesn't have to be static. It can be dynamic. You can change from one position or another, from seated to laying down, just how you felt. These physical postures to continue to re-invoke this sense of what these situations meant to you and how they continue to affect you as you take these positions. When you've had a few moments to sink into any of these closed and reserved positions, just make your way back to your neutral position, whether that be seated on the floor or in a chair or however you were beforehand. And we're going to come back to our pencil or our pen. And this time we're going to grab the other sheet of paper. We want to allow ourselves now to use this list that we created on our first piece of paper and provide counters to all of these experiences and all of these untruths we were told about ourselves. Give us the counter of who we really are for each of these. So we'll take a few minutes here. As you go through your list of your truths, notice how you feel about writing these down. Does it make you feel uncomfortable to counter these lies that you've been told in this way? Or does it make you put a little bit of a smile or smirk on to feel that you are exposing these truths about yourself and maybe finding some of the belief that you are these things? So we're going to counter these untruths again and bring it into a physical experience. So this time you can place both of them down beside each other and just look at each one of them and how they cross and connect, but how they're countered by the truth of who you are being exposed. So if you were told that you were not good enough and that you had your truth saying you are enough and you are worthy, see how that makes you feel. Feel the uplifting in your chest and your body, and it makes you feel more present and open and a little bit more free. See what any of these make you feel, and just intuitively move how you feel when you look at these new counters of your untruths and exposing the truth of who you are. You can stand up in these positions. You can kick your legs out. Feel what it feels like to let yourself feel free and in your truths. Continue to play with the movements and feel into how these truths feel for you. So we'll come back together here from captivating our own energy and engage in a energizing, uplifting breath work together. So for this one, it is called Kapalabhati breathing, and what we'll be doing is a forceful snapping of the belly inward and letting our inhale naturally recoil as we do this. So it'll look like this. We'll do this with breathing through our nostrils, and as we do this, take your arms out wide. You can move them around. It may take a bit of coordination, but just feel how it feels to own and sit in your power and your truth, and continue to go over this list. You can peek at it as you go through, but repeat these. And for example, if you had something on your list that said, I am always betrayed by people close to me, and I am not worthy of having truthful people and trustworthy people in my life. Continue to provide that truth to yourself, that you do have people that are truthful in your life, and you do have honesty within yourself, and this is your true being. So we'll begin here. We'll do this for a minute. Get your arms up and in the position and ready, and we'll begin. Forceful exhalation, snap the belly in and let it recoil. You can close Close your eyes if you want. Just keep some action in the fingers and keep the arms up as much as you can. You can move the arms up if you want. Just keep them floating up in the air, cultivating your energy. With your relaxed exhale, take a deep inhale, bring your arms down to your sides. Hold that breath at the top, if you can, for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the breath. Feel the body softening. Feel the energy of the floating arms that are now rested on your knees or at your sides. So with this practice, and to help us cultivate and keep these truths, they may feel like these have been here for your entire life, however many years since they first began and have been replicating. If this practice didn't help feel like there's any immediate change, it may take a few weeks and months, but don't underestimate the power of how quickly and effectively you can create change by replicating and looking at this list of who you really are and what you actually have in your life that can be brought to you, whether it be more bliss and joy through cultivating and being present with the grateful things in your life that bring you these joys, and looking at your truths list. You can always come back to this list. Now, to bring in a more cathartic experience too, we can tear this sheet up of our untruths, but make sure you keep a copy on hand so that you know and can compare if you ever have these come up again. Continue to reevaluate and know what is you're uncovering here today is your truth of who you are and what you are capable of and manifesting in your life. I want to thank you all so much for taking this journey with me today, and please come back to it at any point and replicate it on your own. You can choose your own music to bring into the experience as well if you do this on your own, but continue to check in with your truths, especially in times when you feel those negativity and painful suffering type experiences are replicating themselves in your life. Allow yourself to uncover who you really are and expose your truths. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.